dugsiga boardingka iyo maalinlaha ah ee Amano Boarding and Day School.
Form 1s, welcome again. This is your grammar teacher Moses. I hope you've been doing well. Now, today we are going to discuss about the final examination. Actually, we're going to do revision for the final exam. So, I'm just going to give you a lay down of the topics that we're going to cover, and I'll try and explain more and give examples. So as you revise for your exams, I would like you to diligently go through these topics, revise from your books. You have the notes and everything else that you need. We have done all this throughout this year. So as you prepare for your exams, I would kindly request you to work very hard and make sure that you take very keen interest in these topics. The first topic is parts of speech, which is you will always find questions on parts of speech in all exams. So I'll just in a rush, I would like us to go through the 8 parts of speech very fast. We know the 8 parts of speech, so you'll find questions on parts of speech, and in a very short time I would like us to go through all the 8 parts of speech: the nouns, the verbs, the adverbs, the adjectives, the pronouns, then prepositions, conjunctions, and lastly interjections. So you will find questions about the parts of speech, and basically those are the 8 parts of speech. And just to go through them briefly, we know that a noun is a naming word, words that are used to give names to people, things and places, and even ideas. Then we have different types of nouns, which we have done. So in your notes, make sure that you go through all the nouns and the different types of nouns, including the 7 types of nouns that we have learned. You have them in your notes. The verbs, a verb is a doing word. So this example is name of a person, like Moses. Then it could be an idea, like respect. We have done this, so make sure you go through that in details from your books, from your notes. A verb is a doing word, an action word. For example, jump, eat, sleep. We learned this as an auxiliary verb or helping verb. Adverbs are words that are used to describe verbs. They tell us how actions took place, and we have different types of verbs. We have already done that: adverbs of time, adverbs of manner, and adverbs of place. Adjectives are words that are used to describe nouns. For example, big. Okay. Pronouns are words that are used to replace nouns. They are used in the place of nouns. For example, my, or me, or I, or she. Those are pronouns. Prepositions are words that are used to show the position of something, or the relation of an object and the place where it is. For example, in, on, okay, and under. Those are pronouns. Okay, prepositions, sorry. Conjunctions are words that are used to join segments or clauses in a sentence to form a long sentence. For example, and, or. Okay, those, I'm just giving a few examples so that you'll know how to revise in your notes. Interjections are words that are used to show a sudden emotional change. For example, wow. So you see, you use an exclamation mark at the end of interjections, and we also say that interjections are also referred to as exclamations. So very good. Let's go back to the lesson top. Okay, the next one is tenses. Of course, you will find a different tenses, but you will find a question on present perfect tense. Present perfect tense. So an example of present perfect tense is I have eaten. Have eaten. So the main verb will always be in past participle form, while the helping verb will be in present tense, because we are talking about present participle tense. Then next we have revised on adverbs. We have already given examples of adverbs, words that are used to describe verbs. Nouns, I've explained nouns. We have about 7 types of nouns. I've explained that briefly, so make sure you read in details from your notes. Forming adjectives from nouns. Yes, we did this. It is in your notes. So as you revise, make sure that you check on this, because there will be a question about this. Forming adjectives from nouns. For example, you talk about a word like adjective like dream. Like anger. Yes. Angry. Yes, that's an adjective. That's a noun. No, sorry, we want to form adjectives from nouns. So in this case, we begin with the noun anger. Yes, that's anger, and anger is a noun. So you can form angry. Angry is an adjective. So you can form an adjective from the noun. So that's an example. You will find more examples in your notes as you revise. The next thing is antonyms. Antonyms are also called opposites. So I'm going to use words that we have been using, the things we have been doing, the vocabulary that you have learned in this year. So you will not find words that you've never been taught. So opposites, for example, a good, bad. So when you find the word antonym, it just simply means the opposite of words. Next, the next thing is affixation. Affixation, we have already done this also. Affixation is addition of words between, before, or afterwards. Addition of some letters or words in front of a word, at the middle of a word, or at the beginning of a word. For example, we have suffixes and prefixes, so you'll find suffixes and prefixes in your exams, and I will just give you an example so that you remember how to do it as you revise. For example, a suffix you add at the beginning. No, at the end. A suffix you add at the end of a word. For example, successful. Success, that's a word. Then you can add a suffix, successful. Okay, that's a suffix. Just remember it is added at the end. Then we have the prefix, which is added at the beginning. For example, unsuccessful. Unsuccessful. Okay, so the prefix is added at the beginning, while the suffix is added at the end. So you need to remember that. You need to remember that. So the next thing, adjectives. I already told you about adjectives. Then pronouns. I've already mentioned pronouns and given examples. Words that are used in the place to replace nouns, while adjectives are used to describe nouns. So this is the last slide. The positive, question and negative sentences. We have done this before positive question and negative sentences. Positive is also called affirmative. We learned that. For example, I am a teacher. That is a positive sentence. Very easy. I am a teacher. Then question, you change this, just make it a questions. I'm talking about myself, so am I, am I, am I a teacher? So you just change that into a question and use the question mark. Then we have a negative sentences. I am not a teacher. So we use not to form a negative sentence. So you need to revise that. Still, it is in your notes, and just revise more. Prepositions, we've already done prepositions. Apostrophe in short forms, for example, just writing words in short form, aren't instead of are not. So short forms, they are also called contractions. Question tags, we have already done question tags before. You are late. Example, this is an example. Aren't you? Aren't you? Please go to your notes, read the notes. You'll find that this is positive, so this should be negative. So you'll find that in the notes. Okay. Punctuation is simply the use of the correct use of the full stop, the comma, the question mark, the capital letter, the apostrophe, and maybe the brackets. Okay, so the correct use of these marks, that is simply punctuation. So you may be given a sentence, then you are asked to punctuate correctly. So maybe check if the capital letter is written in the right place, the full stop, the comma, if they are missing, make sure that you fix that. Then we have the verbs to be, like is, are, were, was. We have done that also. The verbs, the capital letter, I've explained. Capital letters, where they should be used at the beginning of proper nouns and at the beginning of sentences. Tenses, revise different tenses that we've done in this year. We have done simple present, we've done continuous, past continuous, future continuous, present continuous tense. We've done all that. Present perfect. So go through your tenses. And then we have lastly opposite of words, which is I think I've already explained this. It is also called the opposites is the same as antonyms. So you'll find the opposite of words. For example, teacher, students. So thank you very much. Work very hard and make sure that you revise diligently, and you will surely pass this exam. Thank you very much, and I wish you all the best in your exams.